Hi, and thanks for joining me on this video. Here I'll be showing you how I install a new larger size drain plug in this Honda CRM250 engine. So with the engine fully cleaned and back on the workbench, I'm thinking now would be a good time to drain the old gearbox oil and put in new. From what should have been a simple and satisfying job on a Saturday morning, I'm now having to install a properly fitted drain plug. It seems the previous owner cross-threaded the original plug and re-threaded the engine to suit this piece of junk. This bike is just full of surprises. As you can see here, my calipers show the old bolt is a little over 12.5mm. Luckily my local parts supplier had this thread checking stand and I was able to confirm that the bolt is a 1/2 inch UNC thread. In order to re-thread the engine, I had to find an oil sump bolt about 1mm bigger than the old bolt. This is so that old threads can be removed and any new threads will cut into the aluminium engine case material. Here I'm showing you the correct thread tap that I'll be using. Notice the sump bolt is M14. This means 14mm, and 1.5 represents the pitch of the thread. The new tap is the same. By adjusting the engine in this homemade stand, I will be able to access the underside of the engine and then start on re-threading the oil drain hole. Here I have the stand bolted in the vise. This gives me good access to the hole underneath. Quickly running you through the tools I'll be using. I've inserted the tap into my smallest ratchet. Then moving on, to help with the cutting, I'm using this thick 75 weight gearbox oil. Then between each cutting interval, I'll be using these cotton sticks to clean out the hole and remove the debris. And then also, between each cut, I'll be using compressed air to remove the debris from the tap. As we start the tapping, the tip of the day is to take your time and go slow. This is not the sort of job you want to rush and mess up. You also want to check the depth of the hole and make sure you know where all the engine parts are directly above the oil drain hole. You don't want the tap to go inside the engine and hit the internal engine parts and cause damage to everything. Talking you through the safe method I use, I would insert the tool level with the direction of the hole. Then when I felt the tap starting to cut new material, I would keep going for approximately 1.5 turns, then carefully remove the tap, clean the tools and the hole. Doing this with each cut does take time, however I found this method would help limit the debris entering the engine and would help ensure a tight clean thread was being cut. You'll get the idea as we continue. Just keep repeating this process until a completely new thread has been cut. I'm checking my work by turning the tap in and out with my fingers. This has ensured a completely new thread has been cut. As I feel the tap tighten, I apply a small amount of upward pressure and then cut new material. Hopefully you get the idea now. I just kept repeating this process until I was done. With the new thread complete, it's important I don't immediately fill the gearbox with oil, as there is some debris I need to remove first. I'm pouring a small amount of oil into the gearbox with one finger placed over the drain hole. When I remove my finger, the oil flushes out the unwanted debris. I want to repeat this flushing process a few times until I'm confident the gearbox is free of metal filings. These are the tiny bits we were able to flush out of the gearbox. Now we're ready to pour in the oil. I'm removing the tiny oil level bolt on the side of the engine. By removing this bolt, it will allow the air to escape and make pouring of the oil a little easier and quicker. I'm expecting the gearbox to accept between 6 and 700 ml. This is in accordance with the manual. I will know the gearbox is full when oil starts to leak out of the small bolt hole. So that's about it for this video. At the time of filming, I have my cylinder in the workshop for inspection and hopefully repair. Following some good news there, I will then be in a position to order a new top end set. At this stage, the next video will probably be a bit of carb servicing. If all goes well there, we will be in a position to start the bike. Thanks for watching Tom Did It. I hope you'll join me in the next one.